Welcome to Decades of Horror, the Classic Era.
I will tell you where you are. You're about to enter hell, Bartolome. Hell, the netherworld, the infernal region, the abode of the damned, the place of torment, pandemonium, Abaddon, Tophet, Gehenna, Naraka, the pit and the pendulum.
This is episode 225, reviewing Pit and the Pendulum from 1961, recorded March 15th, 2026.
Gruesome Magazine.
I am your host, Doc Rodden, and on this podcast, we cover the good, the bad, and maybe even the ugly horror films released since the beginning of time through 1969. In each episode, we'll discuss the monsters, the spirits, the psychos, the villains that have haunted movie-going audience since the dawn of film history.
Yay.
Yay. With me this week are my incredible co-host. Daphne is out, and filling in for her is Crystal Cleveland. That's me.
Yay.
Let's get Crystal up there. Hi, Crystal.
Hi. Hi. How's it going? I hope everyone's having a freaking great day.
Wonderful.
So far,
Thank you for joining us. I hope you enjoyed bouncing from the 80s back into the classic era.
Yeah, this is my first time I've ever done a classic era.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So
Really?
that's
Yeah.
yeah, it's usually like kind of not my thing, but I think it is. I like it more and more. So I'm starting to appreciate it a lot more. So I'm glad to be here, and I obviously Vincent Price is a nice way to come in. So that's beautiful. Thank you for having me.
Oh, you're very, very welcome.
Glad you're here.
Also joining us is a pair of nuts. Starting off with
Oh.
Bill Mulligan, writer, director.
Sometimes you feel like a nut.
And published author. What do you got there, bud?
Wrong.
I have Rom, A Tale of Terror, Lawyers versus
Rom.
Demons. Yeah,
Lawyers.
that's good. I don't know who I'd rather face. Demons.
Also joining us is Chad Hunt.
Hunt.
Yes.
Comic book
He's
artist.
a film producer and director in his own right on Wreak Havoc Film Productions, and a comic book and artist and writer. And he kind of smells funny, but we still like him.
What?
How you doing, Chad?
What the heck?
Yeah.
What the heck?
can't help it.
Yeah.
What the heck about that?
I am as God made me, sir.
Wow, you are as well. Yes. I lovingly just.
I know. It's good to be here.
All right. What we're going to do tonight is have a lot of fun. We're going to dive into, of course, Pit and the Pendulum from 1961. We're going to start off giving you our first impressions of what we think about it. Then we're going to dive into the film. We're going to do taglines. We're going to do all kinds of other fun things, cast of characters, and then we'll wrap things up with some feedback. Speaking of feedback, we do encourage you to like and subscribe and share with a friend, because every click helps us find another horror fan just like you. Yay! You can also catch us on Play Now Media. We have partnered up with them, and the Classic Era is on the Classic Sci-Fi Movie Channel, the Classic Horror Movie Channel, and the Wicked Horror TV Channel. And they have so many others. So we encourage you to check them out. They're on Amazon TV, Apple TV, Roku, and the whole shebang of those guys. So check them out and let us know what you think.
It's not half a shebang. It's the whole shebang.
No,
whole shebang.
We did not scrimp on scrimp. Is that right? Scrimp?
That's
Yeah,
sure.
sure.
Yeah, that's
Not
right.
shrimp on the shebanging.
No.
We did not shrimp on it.
No, shrimp on it. Shrimp? No. All right, moving on. Let's get into this Pit and the Pendulum from
Oh boy.
1961. Vincent Price is looking,
Don't
That's
be
a-
scared.
little.
Don't be scared.
That's a man who just realized he did not have a prenup.
No. Directed by Roger Corman, written by Richard Matheson. So we know it's
Ooh, good stuff.
based on the story by Edgar Allan Poe. Cinematography is by Floyd Crosby. The music's by Les Baxter. The cast includes Vincent Price, John Kerr, Barbara Steele, Luana Anders, and Anthony Carbone.
Anthony Carbone.
And Tony.
And
Tony. Yeah, there's no H. And Tony. Production company was Alta Vista Productions, and it was released by AIB, of course. Released on August 23rd, 1961 in the States. The budget was a whopping $200,000.
Well,
and the box office, the box office was $2 million. So good for you, Roger.
That's a 10-to-1 ROI.
Yeah,
that's lovely.
People happy.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Synopsis is in the 16th century, Francis Barnard travels to Spain to clarify the strange circumstances of his sister's death after she had married the son of a cruel Spanish Inquisitor.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, let's find out what we thought of this film. And Crystal, since you're with our guest, we're going to start off with you.
Okay, I have never seen this, so this was my first time. I obviously, so when Doc asked me about it today, I was like, yeah, with Jeffrey Combs, yay. And then I realized it was not that version, duh. So I just watched this for my first time, and I really, obviously, I'm very aware of Vincent Price films. This is from what, the 60 what again?
61.
Yeah, 61. So it's really early in the 60s. And much like a lot of those films, they feel like theatrical productions, like on a stage, which, you know, they did use, you know, studio production. And it feels like it. You can tell. And even the performances are theatrical in that regard. But I like them for that. And Vincent Price is perfect as a stage actor, especially in my humble opinion. I feel like as he got older, he even got better in front of the camera, more natural and less theatrical. But here he's in, you know, prime theatrical form. No, which I really enjoy.
True.
Now I'm a huge Edgar Allan Poe fan, but I mean, this is nothing. Well, it just takes really a couple ideas from the Pit and the Pendulum, and actually takes some from a Cask of Amontillado as well. Of course, you know, I mean, everyone loves that whole like burying someone behind the wall. I really liked the cinematography. The costume and wardrobing here is really, really nice. I don't know that I could say it's historically accurate, like what the 1500s or something. I'm not sure. But I think that they looked really great. I enjoyed the cast of characters, while small. So it says 20%. Okay. So what's interesting about this is when I look at a film like this, you see that this is a small cast, really, and it does feel very stage theatrical. Like they're not made like that. Films aren't made like this anymore, but I think it would save a lot of money if they were. I mean, there's very little to it. It is one location still. It's the home or the castle, or is it a castle? I would assume. I like the story. It's very Vincent Price pretty much seems to like play into these roles. I mean, generally he's the bad guy, which he's great as the bad guy. He's not really the bad guy here, but he becomes the bad guy through lunacy. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. I actually know that he did like several other Edgar Allan Poe adaptations that I haven't seen. So maybe I'll watch the rest of those
Boy,
as well.
do we know.
Oh, yeah.
Have y'all seen them? Are they good?
We've been doing them.
That's all we've been doing here lately.
Oh, okay.
This is our third in a row. Yeah.
I think you will enjoy Mask of the Red Death quite a bit.
Oh, I love Mask of the. I probably would really enjoy that. You know, Edgar Allan Poe is an interesting writer because, to be completely frank with you, he's not very good when he writes long form content. No. He's an amazing writer with short stories, but long form content, I don't think as well. And much like Lovecraft too, I feel like short content is kind of better for them.
I do like Murders in the Rue Morgue. That's a really good one. Of course, he invented the detective story with that. So,
which is That's crazy, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Never been adapted well. I mean, I love the Bela Lugosi version, but it has nothing to do with the books. Yeah.
The problem, I think, a lot of it is they focus so heavily on emotion and, well, I'm speaking of both Poe and Lovecraft, more on emotion and feeling as opposed to things really happening as much.
Right.
So it's harder to translate, like, you know, in my opinion. I don't know if that's the case, but I feel like that could be the case.
Oh,
It's like,
yeah,
how do you
totally.
translate
sure.
some of this, you know? But I loved it, and I'm glad I got to see it.
Good.
So,
Excellent.
mhm.
Can't wait to hear more. Chad Hunt, sir. What was when did you first see this? What was your first impression?
All that good stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I've seen bits and pieces of this one over the years, but never sat down and watched the whole thing completely through. So this is my first time watching it all the way completely through. And I'm either getting a little bit of Poe jet lag or something here lately, because I like this story. I've always liked the story of the movie tells. I never liked the cast of characters aside from Vincent Price. The acting was just atrocious. Yeah, well, Barbara Steele's in it, but she wasn't there to keep my attention through the whole.
That's true.
Through the whole film. But the sister's acting was horrendous, and the brother, the Barnard, when he came in, he just was just a stuffed shirt too. So I didn't really start getting into the movie until about midway through, when revelations started to come forth about what happened, and when Vincent Price was a kid, and that kind of thing. So, like I said, I aside from the acting, I really enjoyed the movie, and I really did. I think Bill brought out before the show the painted sets, the walls, that were just painted with the scenery on them, and the pit itself. That whole thing I just found that interesting as hell to look at, because there's so much detail in there, especially around the pit and everything to look at for the little bit of time that you really get to see it. I just thought that was an amazing feat right there. So yeah, I liked it a lot, and I'm glad we watched it too.
Excellent. Bill Mulligan. When did you first see this?
This would have been, I think, in the 70s, when the 4:30 movie used to do theme weeks. And I just wish I knew who was in charge of that, because they picked some kick-ass themes, and one of them was Edgar Allan Poe. And it was, pretty much, it could have also been just Roger Corman. It was Roger Corman, Edgar Allan Poe, Vincent Price. Good stuff. And the two that really stood out for me were this one and Mask of the Red Death. Those are my two favorites, still are. And I get what Chad is saying. Watching it just the other day, it did strike me how uninteresting the two main likable characters were. The sister, Vincent Price's sister, and Barbara Steele's brother. And boy, they just could not have been less. And the actress who plays the sister is a good actress, but boy, no, she gives a very weak performance in a very weak role. But man, this is my introduction to Barbara Steele. This is the first Barbara Steele movie I ever saw, and I was like, wow, man, she's not in for very long, but you can't take your eyes off of her. And I became a big fan of hers. And I love me some Vincent Price. And we get to see two Vincent Price for the price of one in this movie. We get to see the beleaguered, bad marriage Vincent Price, who's, just set upon by everyone. And then we get to see that guy snap and turn into the over-the-top, crazy, hammy Vincent Price. And in this case, the hamminess works because he's crazy, and he's acting crazy, and he's delightful when he goes evil. So fun. So that's great. The sets are gorgeous. When, like we said before, when Corman is willing to spend the money and put the care in, he actually is a good director that can do a lot of stuff. He just didn't care when he's doing Apache Women or something. There were the movies he made because he had to make a movie in a week. And that's, those are the movies that are fun to watch, because you'll see Dick Miller playing an Indian and a cowboy, and at one point actually shoots himself. Wow, that's great. How cheap can you get? Well, with Corman, it's like, hold my beer and don't spill any, because I'm cheap. But in this one, $200,000 was probably high end for a Corman movie, and everything's on the screen. It shows. It's good looking. It's got a great ending that really just about froze my blood when I saw it as a kid. And I got to say, this movie's been very influential, because if you've seen one of my favorite Tim Burton movies, Sleepy Hollow, I mean, there's a whole chunk that is torn straight from this movie, and it's like Tim Burton filming a bit from Pit and the Pendulum as if it were directed by Mario Bava. And just saying those words gives me a chill. It's like, oh yeah, take my money. I'll pay anything to see that. And by God, he pulls it off really, really well.
Yeah, with a dash of hammer.
Yep, with a dash of hammer. That's a really underrated movie, I think. But this one I really enjoy. Yeah, I think we're getting a little Poe'd out at this point, so we'll switch it up for the next one, Chad. But it's been fun going through these, and this is. I really go back and forth on whether this one or Mask of the Red Death is my favorite of the bunch. But it's definitely the two that I think you could see Corman was beginning to think, hey, I better make some movies that they're going to remember me by, and he did, and we still are. Not that there's anything wrong with Attack of the Crab Monsters, which I still probably love beyond all the others. So
really, because I have a list here.
Oh no!
Oh man! All right. Well, I did the same thing, Bill. I saw this on the afternoon, the afternoon movies. It was. I can't remember if it was Vincent Price week or Poe week. It wasn't Corman week, because they never did. Corman.
I didn't know who Corman was.
It was one of the other two. But I did see this, and I just remember how. I don't really remember much from seeing it that time, other than the effect of the pendulum itself. I just thought once he went bonkers and got the guy down the pendulum, although I remember having a hard time telling the difference between Francis and Dr. Leon. To me, they looked almost interchangeable.
They do look a lot alike, yeah.
And less so now as an adult, but I do remember that. And that pendulum just, oh man, it just really freaked me out as a kid. And I was probably 12 or 13 when I saw it, maybe younger.
You hadn't researched torture devices then.
No, I didn't know anything about them. I didn't know anything about them.
You say that as though you had, Crystal.
Of course,
Crystal.
I had.
Okay.
Absolutely. I knew what a pendulum was.
Master's degree in torture.
Yeah.
But what's interesting about this film, Bill, Raven's my favorite, but I'm not really all there. What's interesting about this, it was number 6 on the top domestic box office for 1961 under these
number
5
6.
films.
Wow.
Under these 5 films. 101 Dalmatians was number 1.
Okay, sure, Disney.
West Side Story.
Yeah.
El Cid.
Okay.
Disney's The Parent Trap, and Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Oh, well, that was a good year.
Yeah, and then this. So
this is the odd man out in that group for sure.
Yeah. I mean, he wasn't going to make number 5, but damn, he did make number 6. That's kind of awesome.
Yeah.
Oh man. But yeah, I had such a good time watching this again. And I ended up watching it twice because I pulled a Jeff. I watched it twice. And when every time Vincent Price is on the screen, this film just is a joy to watch, because his delivery and his cadence, and because he basically, like you say, plays 2 characters, and his transformance from one character to the other, which is a triggered transformance, is it's amazing.
Yeah,
I was glued both times watching. I was like, "This is," because he laughs and he turns, and then when he gets up and his face is contorted and changed, and he almost looks like an entirely different Vincent Price. And you fully buy into these gone cuckoo for Cocoa
Oh, yeah.
Puffs. But yeah, I absolutely love this. But we'll get into more about that as we go through all the rest of the thing. But we do have to do something first before we get into the whole spiel, and that is taglines with Chad.
Oh man,
Is there many?
I thought it was time for Crystal's close-up.
I'm
No.
sorry. I'm really concerned my phone is going to die. And so I'm trying to make sure it's charging while y'all are talking, but I don't know if I'm being successful. This has been an utter failure on my part. I apologize.
That's not your fault.
Well, you're here, so we go ahead,
Technology
Chad.
sucks.
All right, taglines for the Pit and the Pendulum. Until now, no one has dared to film this, the most diabolical classic of all time.
Okay. Well, okay.
Until now, no one cared to film this, is what it should be.
Pear, dared, tomato, tomato.
Ah.
The greatest terror tale ever told.
That's a lot of T's.
Well, these are so generic. Like,
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
I like them. Okay.
I do like the alliteration, though.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll give
Okay,
it that.
all right. Edgar Allan Poe's diabolic classic.
Okay. But it's really not the same story. But yeah. Totally. I love it.
She was enslaved by evil in a terror-haunted castle.
What?
Yeah, that's
But
a
that's
different
not even
movie.
true.
Not at all
Yeah.
true. Yeah. Not at all.
Betrayal cuts both ways.
Okay. How does it cut both ways, though?
Yeah.
She was the betrayer, and then he went loony and
And that
thought he
also
was
kinda-
his father.
Yeah, that kind of gives away the twist. Not that anyone's going to remember a tagline, but you know,
Yeah.
we don't know there's a
What am I
betrayal
reading them
until-
for?
No, stop.
Because you
Keep
hate
going.
doing it. So haven't you realized that part of this show is to make us do things we don't want to do, Chad?
And then we get to hear
I'm just
Crystal's
kidding.
voice every time, which is great.
I'm just kidding.
Okay.
Yeah, because we have to watch.
Yeah, maybe
movies
you should use
sometimes
reverse
that are-
psychology and come out. It's like, boy, you know what gets me through the week and makes me
I
spring
love
out of
reading
bed
these taglines.
with a song in my heart and a spring in my step.
Mm,
Tagline.
brings me joy.
Maybe if you did that,
Mhm.
we'd say,
It's
"Oh, well,
like,
this isn't fun anymore."
And you know what? I would commit both of you because I would think you're sick in some way now. Attracted some kind of virus or something, and their minds are not right.
All right. Well, that's been taglines
Our
with Chad.
hero, cool and rad. With him reading taglines, they can't be that bad.
Makeup effects by Tanya Harris.
Mhm.
Ah, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. Next up, we are going to be doing a new segment. By this time, I think it's
Oh,
got
yeah.
some ground at this point, but it's cast of characters. So we're going to go through each of the characters and discuss the characters more so than the actors playing them. So we're going to start off, of course.
It's probably
with
more
Vincent
fun to
Price.
do this with a Corman movie where there's only a small cast of characters as opposed to Excalibur or Mad World.
But Excalibur was so much fun.
Yeah.
But Vincent Price is Nicolas Medina, who is just he's broken. He's a broken character.
Mhm.
And
Oh,
Well,
yeah, he
I
had a-
just think I think he was sweet. It was sad. Like what he saw of his mother, he couldn't even process. And then he marries this horrible woman, and
Who he
he's so
loves.
traumatized.
Yeah.
Yes.
Man, I'm glad you put Ibble on the end of that because I was going, she's going there with this? She was a horrible.
horrible. Ooh,
Mhm.
yep.
come on, guys.
Mhm.
See, I told you, two nuts.
My talent's wasted here.
Yep. She was a 304 for sure. But yeah, and look at him. Look, but you know what a great. You mentioned it, Doc. When they think they've broken this guy and they're kicking him when he's down.
Oh
kicking him
man,
when
over
he's
and over
down,
again.
and all of a sudden he turns and the look on their face, and it's like he's still on the ground and he's Vincent Price. He's not exactly a mixed martial artist, right? You should be able to take him, but they just back away because they know
But
they
he's
done
a
effed
big.
up.
He's tall though.
is a
He's
big guy.
actually really big. Like, wasn't he something like 6'5"?
Yeah,
or
yeah.
something.
And I
Yeah,
wouldn't
that would
want
be
to fight him,
intimidating.
but and now
He
he's
has an imposing
mad,
height.
literally mad. Yeah. But,
Hmm.
but
I,
look,
I would
look at
back
those little
up if
sad
he was
drunken
up like
puppy
that.
dog eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like the scene when they halfway they kind of gaslight him until thinking
Yeah.
like, did I actually do that and not know it? Did I actually do that?
Oh,
and not
yeah,
know?
that was
And it was
sad.
just, oh man, it was just like
Yeah.
heartbreaking.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, where'd they get the body to put in the coffin to pretend to?
Well, I mean, it may not even have been real, honestly. Like, I assumed it wasn't even real. Not like anyone would be looking. I mean, how was she? I don't know that a body after a few months would be that.
Desiccated.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I just assumed
It'd still
it
be
was
pretty
fake.
juicy after a
Mhm.
couple.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's
Yeah.
say rats.
But he, as usual, he knocked this out of the park.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
This is a pretty complex character, and especially at the point where he gets knocked over the head and it just snaps into his father, becomes his father, or whatever. It was just he gave his all for that, and he's always going to be the highlight of these movies, no matter no matter what. And he was here too.
And he has a great entrance too, coming out of
Yeah,
the
he
door. And,
Yeah,
"Who are you?"
yeah.
Really good, really good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, up next is of course his wife, Elizabeth.
But she gets away with it.
Steele.
Awful.
I've never seen her. Is she in a lot of stuff? Because y'all keep talking about her.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
she's in Mario Bava's Black Sunday and Long Hair of Death. She's just got
Black Magic, or
she's just got this
Black Sunday.
So-
Black Sunday.
Yeah.
So I've probably
Yes.
seen her, just don't.
Yeah.
She totally has crazy face.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I'm
Yeah.
just letting you know, like that she totally has crazy face. Was she crazy in real life?
Yeah, she's a little offbeat. But she's kind of like that character from that Seinfeld episode when he was dating the woman who was either beautiful or scary depending on the lighting. And I swear, with her, you can be shooting her and she looks fine, and then you just adjust the light a little bit and her face suddenly looks almost like a skull. So, if horror movies are all about sex and death, Barbara Steele could do both in the course of a shot. And I love her.
She's amazing. She's amazing.
Great. Now the character, awful, terrible. I mean, I don't know how she had such a nice brother. He was boring, but he was a nice guy, honorable person, and everything. And he's coming to see. He cared about his sister, and what does he think now? And realize, oh, she was terrible.
I don't know that they never discovered what happened.
I guess that's true.
So he never knows. Like she.
That's right. He doesn't even know she's alive.
Yeah, he thinks that she's dead, so he'll never know. And he doesn't even know. They also don't know that the doctor was who he was as well, because he just died too. They just think that Nicholas went crazy and probably killed the doctor, and that was it.
Killed the doctor, and they're just going to hush it up now and never open that door again. And there she is in the Iron Maiden going, I did not think this through.
Whoops.
But what a fitting end.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. A little DC Comics there.
Yeah. I mean, you really got a good sense of what Vincent Price's character thought of her during those flashbacks.
He loved her
and stuff like that. So so it painted a little bit of a different picture of her in those scenes. We really didn't get the evil side of her until she showed up and coming out of the coffin, which was an amazing scene.
Yeah,
having her creeping down the hallway and you can't see her
just her silhouette. Oh my God, that was scary. That was a scary part.
Really liked her.
But she was great in this, and she did play the villain a lot in it, in some of her movies, but she always looked good doing it.
She often played the villain and the innocent. There's a few movies where she is like either twins or possessed or something, where she plays the innocent who gets possessed by a different person, also played by Barbara Steele. And so she was good that she could be vulnerable or she could be villainous. I mean, she looks at you like that, you know, your days are numbered. I mean,
Yeah.
And she didn't have the typical Hollywood female glamour queen at the time, but you know, she's just a little bit off from that, but she's beautiful because of that. I think, you know, her, especially her eyes and everything like that, and she could just pull off an evil witch or something like that, like it was eating breakfast, you know, or something like that. She just was so good.
Every monster kid's dream.
Yeah.
All right, here comes a stick in the mud. John Kerr as Francis Barnard. But I mean, he basically, I don't think he played the character wrong, because the character is inquisitive, demanding. He's there to solve, you know, what happened to his sister. So, you know, he's not there to play the nice guy. He needs answers.
And look, he's an honorable guy. He obviously cares for his sister. Not one of those, oh dear, sister died. Whoa, whatever. You know, wants answers. So he goes off there. I admire that. And then when he gets what's pretty obviously the runaround, he starts poking. You know, he's smart enough to know when they're not telling him the whole truth. But he's not a jerk about it. He's just not that interesting, though.
Well, there was one point where he was a jerk when Vincent Price said, "So you'll be staying the night with us?" He goes, "Absolutely, and then some." As he walked out of the room.
Yeah.
But I swear I've seen this guy on a Love Boat or something.
We'll get to all that later. All right, and then we have Catherine, the sister, Medina, played by Luana Anders.
Soft spoken is right. I mean,
so soft spoken it sounds like bad acting.
But there we go. Cool.
No. I didn't think she was. I mean, I don't think she's had
so
a
passive.
Great heart,
She's
right?
very passive.
Yeah, and she, I don't know. I have to agree. I think she felt like she had no emotion, like she was just speaking
there was nothing.
the words. Yeah.
I think they were trying to have her, like you were supposed to suspect she was hiding something.
Yeah.
But she was always there to support her brother, right? So.
But then even when the whole thing goes down, she's like, "Oh, well, no one's going to open this room again." Like deadpan. Like,
I must move this lever or the cleaver will
that was
slice
crazy,
him in twain.
I have to say, I don't know if that was her or Roger. One of them needed to freaking say, "I think we need more here. I think we need more here." Like, I guess some of it is you don't want to overshadow Vincent's performance, because he is a more subtle actor, but still I think that it would make the movie could have been so much better. I fully 1000% agree with Chad that some of these actors were atrocious, horrible, actually almost ruined the movie. Had they stepped up their game.
The doily was too
tight. Tight doilies will do that. But.
Can you imagine if she had been more passionate? I think it would have.
Yeah.
Either way, even if she was hiding something irrelevant, like if you were hiding something, I think that you could have overdone it, or if you aren't hiding it, you could overdo it. You know, like either. You know, I don't know. I feel like some of the actor choices here were off.
Well, if she's supposed to be a red herring, you know, and you're going to make her feel or act a little passive and everything, when the poo-poo started to hit the fan, she still maintained that, oh my God, I have to run down these stairs and save, what's his name, my brother from, you know, and it just never, it just never.
Yeah, I could think of a few things they could have done. I mean, they could have made us start thinking that maybe she's in league with the doctor to get her brother declared crazy, and then she inherits the whole castle and everything, and make it look like maybe she's the one. Then there'd be a shock to find out, no, it's not her, it's the dead wife. That would be cool. They could have played up the romance between her and the brother, which is sort of implied, but not very strong. And give her the thing that she wants to leave this horrible place with all its bad memories, but she's, so devoted to her brother. She wants to take care of him. So she's trapped. And maybe that's the passivity in the performance. So maybe something was taken out. Because Roger was not above like, oh, we're behind schedule, just grabbing a hunk of pages from the script and ripping them out. That has happened on more than one occasion.
Yeah, her character didn't have any range, right? It was basically
it was
one through throw.
She ran the gamut between A and B. So
like literally, Doc, she would be like, "No, I think it's important that we tell him."
Yeah,
you?
Right.
Like, wow.
And if it was a director's choice, I can't imagine Roger Corman telling her, "Can you be more downbeat here, especially when you're running around in the dungeon? Just be as downbeat as you can." I think it was just a choice maybe she made that just didn't work out.
And also, if you're underplaying a role in the same scene with Vincent Price, that's not going to look good, It makes the contrast all the more glaring.
Yeah, done it. And of course, we have the doctor, Anthony. I have put the H in this one. There's actually no H.
He was honestly one of the most passionate, aside from Vincent. Of course, Vincent was, but I feel like I felt the most from him. No, I really thought she was dead. Like, he didn't overdo it, but at least I felt something.
That did work.
Yeah.
Now, I'll tell you, even as a kid, I caught on to these things pretty fast. As soon as this guy showed up, I knew.
I know, he's smarmy.
Knew he was no good news, because I watched a lot of Scooby-Doo, and if there's one thing I learned,
he was definitely a Scooby-Doo.
Is that the character who shows up and has no reason just to provide some exposition, usually the bad guy, knows more than he's letting on. And
plus, you can't trust them carbones.
Yeah, the carbones.
You can't trust the carbones.
And you can say, "Oh no, that she's gay."
Yeah.
Sorry, my battery is dying, so I'm trying to turn it. I know it's okay. Let's keep going. Let me go for as long as I can.
All right. Of course,
hey,
Vincent Price as the Looney. Vincent Price as Sebastian.
He doesn't even look like the same guy.
Right.
He kind of twists his face a little bit, and his eyes get even crazier.
Eyebrows are down, raised on the, Vincent,
also, and he's something I love in a villain. He genuinely enjoys being a villain. This makes his day. Talk about someone who wakes up with a smile in his heart and a song in his heart and a smile in his face and a spring in his step. That's this guy right here. Oh boy, off to do some more torturing.
Convincingly too. Like, oh my gosh.
Well, it was like night and day. These characters were night and day. Yeah. And so when he went to that, it was, I bet, especially the time that this movie came out, I bet it was a shock to the audience of the totally different aspect of his character here.
Yeah, there was so much
relish. Fornicators, Sebastian's on the prowl. He's taking
yeah.
I mean, at horror fans, we have to wade through a lot of crap to get to the good stuff. but we watch everything, and we've become so used to the genre. We can write these things ourselves. We know what's going to happen, what this character is going to do, because we've seen it a million times in movies. But back in movies like this, where just his performance of flipping that, just like that, must have been shocking. Like the people that first saw Frankenstein found it so horrible, So, but we look at it now, and I would think a modern audience would look at this movie now and go,
"No, you have to be a fan of the films, Monster Kid or something."
Yeah.
Oh,
well, I mean, Crystal, you're kind of new to this one. What comment on what Chad's saying about that? Because you're kind of
about the difference in the character. I mean, we only got to see the father for such a short amount of time that I just know, as Vincent Price as an actor, I've always respected. So it's kind of hard to I mean, I think he's wonderful. I do think what I like about it is when he does this, I'll say this, when he does the father, he did seem so much more over the top. And even when he goes crazy at the end, he didn't go to this level. So I think that's I think that was a clever decision. Like it's still, it's almost like he has three. I feel like.
Mhm.
I feel like he has Nicholas, and then he has the dad, and then he has his crazy Nicholas.
Right. Nicholas remembering how he remembers his dad.
Yeah, definitely some
Yeah,
scenery chewing going on, but in the best way possible.
yeah.
Sure.
Like I said, relish.
I do think that the thing, you know, covering his head helps too, obviously.
Yep.
And it's like,
Inquisitor's hood.
yeah, it's like black and dark, and it makes him seem more ominous.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really love the scene when you know, Elizabeth is like at his face saying, you know, adulterer and all that, and then you know, you could just see him in his face. He's putting those pieces all together in the wrong way, right? So
Something snaps.
there's almost like a actual snap going on,
Yep.
and he starts laughing, and they all get like concerned. What's going on? Ending this. I love
When they said he was gone, or the doctor looked and said he's gone, I thought he was dead.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
So
Me
then
too.
she's moving his head around and he's looking.
Yeah.
His eyes
And
are
she's
moving
like
around.
still talking to, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, he meant in his brain.
Yeah. His
Yeah.
brain is dead, just like Dad's.
Now, keep in
Yeah.
mind, back then,
Mhm.
doctors were not exactly real scientists. It's like, yes, he's gone. The evil humors have taken over. The only cure, leeches. So,
Oh my!
I think
Especially
this was
them
even like
carbones.
pre-leeches. Like I feel like they wouldn't have this movie doesn't feel like it's from the 1500s. I'm just saying. I guess they had to find a way to, you know, incorporate the pendulum. Otherwise, is
sure.
it the pit and the pendulum? But like y'all, come on.
well,
Like
you know,
I
it's not
don't
the
think that
1500s.
yeah.
Their teeth their teeth is good. So,
Oh.
Well, that too.
Yeah.
That too. Fair enough. Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right. Well, that's our cast of characters. We'd love to hear what you think about this segment. Let's move on to the posters. Let's see how they marketed this film. This is a wonderful poster.
Mhm.
I love this poster.
I missed the part with the girl in the sheer negligee, but I appreciate it on the poster there.
Yeah, it was in there somewhere, I'm
Um,
sure.
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty.
I can't see it. It's so little for me.
Oh,
Like
trust
that
me, she's
big.
there. She's there.
Like she is
Oh, yeah,
literally
yeah.
like that bit. Yeah, like there's like nothing.
But the composition on this is really good, right?
Mhm.
I love
I
it,
like
yeah.
it. I like it. hmm
Yeah.
This one
And it
has a
doesn't
lot of
go-
posters, actually.
Yeah, it doesn't look like a bunch of lazy
Thing is,
slap.
how do they strap the guy up onto the little thing there if there's a pit all completely around the?
Chad,
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
you and your logic
They have
question.
they have a plank.
Really?
Ridiculous. That's
The
That's
plank.
so
silly.
They have a plank.
stupid.
The pit part's kind of irrelevant, honestly.
Yeah, I don't know. The pit and the, pan-
The pit is
just
really
seems like
just
it's
the
there.
area that it kind
Mhm.
of is, you know,
Should have
not
called it the pit and the plank.
see in the
No, the
story.
pendulum, the plank and the pendulum.
In the story, a dude is in a pit and he's underneath the pendulum, but but the pit keeps changing and shit. So he's like losing his mind. So it's more of a pit. I still feel like they did a good job of like
Yeah.
the pit portion of this. It did feel it's like a basement-y type thing, which is fine. Whatever.
The crawl
I mean, I
space and the
buy it.
pendulum doesn't
It
Yeah,
really.
was
not
deep,
that
deep
deep.
underneath the castle. Yeah.
Yeah.
And here's another one. This one, oh wow.
Yeah, look at
This
that.
is
There's
really good
there's
too.
negligee lady again, and
Yeah.
but boy, this one, that thing's practically grazing his nipple there, so that's gotta hurt.
Well, they did cut the clothes. I like those. When they cut
Yeah.
the feet.
I like that.
How many pendulum movies are there?
There's a
gosh.
few. Yeah,
Well,
a
there's
few
the
others.
Jeffrey Combs one. There's a
Mhm.
few. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, just even films that have a pendulum in them.
Oh.
I think there's
Oh.
others, right? Was
Oh
it
yeah.
one-
Yeah. Doesn't
Yeah.
Serpent and the Rainbow have one
Ooh.
similar or something? I feel like I love that movie. I can't look up anything, so because I don't have my phone. So
It's a
I,
great Batman plot kind of thing. You know, you want to put the hero in peril in a way that he will escape, because this is
Doesn't Indiana Jones? It feels like Indiana Jones movie would have something like that too, doesn't
I
it?
think even Batman had a version of it.
I feel like there was, yeah, but I can't remember.
Why do
which
I feel like I don't know? I forget because I'm like, did Green Inferno have one, or were they just cutting him up? I mean,
Indiana
like
Jones, I'm thinking of the lava pit in the second movie
Mhm.
where he's being, slowly lowered toward the lava, but a pendulum.
Yeah, I don't know. It seems like I've seen this. I agree, Doc, like multiple times, like the design of it for sure. It's spooky. I mean, can you imagine being slowly cut? Yeah, it'd be horrible. Ew. And you don't want to move really, because then you're just going to cut yourself in a whole new place. That would hurt.
Breathe.
Yikes.
Yeah.
This would suck.
They do say that Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade had the pit.
Thank you. I thought so.
And then Saw 5 had one as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
So interesting. I feel like there's one. Well, it doesn't. Let's move on. Poster number 3. Yet another take on it. I like this one. I like this one too.
I like it.
Yeah.
Oh man, they really
all the elements
went all out for this one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like that. Nope, that's a version of Same
thing in green. What I like about all of these is they kind of look like the cover of those men's magazines, Weasels Rip My Flesh, or
what?
A pulpy look to it.
Yeah, it does have a pulp feel to it, that's for sure. And then
La Posa y el Pendulo.
Yeah, it doesn't have the same effect when they use the photos. The paintings are so much more inviting.
Yeah.
And these are,
I object when you give away a major plot twist in the poster. It's like,
guys, the bottom one,
please control yourself.
But
so let me tell you what stinks for me is I'm still seeing the old poster. I don't know why none of those images are changing for me. And y'all aren't frozen. So why isn't that changing? Isn't that weird? So weird. Boo. Boo.
We'll describe them to you.
Yeah. I'm like, bet it's nice. Bet it's super nice.
All right. Here's the book tie-in. Looks like 2 different book tie-ins. Yeah. Tell us about this one, Bill.
Well, the first one is kind of cool because it's a bunch of pictures from the movie, and the actual titles, Poe's horror classic, The Pit and the Pendulum, is formatted in a way that makes it look like a pendulum. So the words are the things that are swinging toward something. And then the other one just looks like they took it from the poster.
All they did is almost exactly like the second poster, third poster.
So I think you'll be a little surprised if you adapted by Lee Sheridan. Okay, so the first one is actually an adaptation of the movie, because I'm saying, boy, if you read Edgar Allan Poe's story, you're going to be wondering, nothing like this happened on the cover. I don't know about the second one though. The second one looks like it's just Edgar Allan Poe's story. How long was his original story? I didn't think it was that long, enough to justify a book.
Chris, do you know?
Collection of stories.
No, I do not know. I'm so sorry.
I don't either.
I apologize.
I'd be interested to see how much these books go for today.
The books, a lot. Everything goes for a lot anymore.
Sure.
Yeah. So there's the picture of the lady in the coffin.
So we got a picture above of Roger Corman talking to
pop back in.
It's Roger Corman talking to Vincent Price as they're looking at a magazine. I can't tell what's on the cover. And then the possibly fake dead person screaming, trying to get out.
That was pretty effective, though.
It was. Oh, yeah. It was scary as crap because she's skeletal.
Yeah. And when she comes out of the coffin later, you expect her to look like this.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be, if they told me that they actually put like one of the maids in there, I could believe it, because these people were despicable.
Right, they were awful.
But going back to that scene, Doc, when she came out of the coffin, and going through there, it was kind of a smart move that they didn't show her face in the makeup or that kind of makeup or whatever, because your mind sort of fill that in.
Well, we didn't know she was actually alive at that yet. So
No.
Oh, yeah, that's
so
true.
so it was just, if you're really into the movie, you're thinking if the corpse is rising out of the, from the
Mhm.
coffin. So I love it. I remember that giving me. I remember that. I remember from that point on as a child. It was just like
Yeah.
And then of course here's Vincent Price and
Many faces of Vincent Price.
he does absolutely.
Look at his expression in that bottom picture compared
Right.
to the one in the middle.
Exactly.
You
And
know,
even the one at
same-
the top was slightly different, right? It's a little bit more.
I think it's just all he does is adjust his eyebrows and instantly changes everything on his face,
and that slight snicker on his lips.
It's a little,
Yep,
and his
definitely.
face is a little twisted, it's a little asymmetrical. And that
Mhm.
just, yeah.
And the cap helps. The cap helps so much.
It does. It
Yeah.
does. Because now he's just a floating face, just silhouetted in black.
It looks scarier.
Yep.
Very
I'm
much.
afraid-
Oh, I love this one. Tell us about this collection.
Okay. So I wish Crystal were still here because I did this at Dragon Con. I posted up a thing. I can't remember what the topic of the panel was, but I had to. Vincent Price has no luck with the ladies. Is there any actor who has more often portrayed bad marriages than Vincent Price? We've got
Not as well as
Tingler.
Vincent.
Yeah, we got the Tingler. He's trapped in an absolutely loveless marriage, and I guess this was that time in the 50s or so where getting a divorce was really difficult. It actually was a much more intelligent, viable alternative to just kill your spouse than to get divorced. I don't know. The Tingler, he tries to scare her to death, and then she lets the Tingler get loose on him, and he's House on Haunted Hill again. He's like,
Mhm.
why won't you divorce me? I'll never divorce her. You'll have to kill me. It's like, oh man, don't you ever say that to Vincent Price. Tomb of Lygia, just everything goes wrong. And in this one, maybe this is you see why. He no matter what he does, he just can't pick the right woman.
Poor fella.
To a Lygia, he comes closest, but sadly, it's his second wife, and a smart man always marries his second wife first. But Vincent Price was not in that category. He just goes for the absolute worst people. I mean, I wasn't there. It takes two to tango. Maybe he was distant or just not emotionally available, but I don't know. He just has bad luck, and yeah. But this one, boy. Why does she hate him so much? He doesn't seem like a bad guy, but she, again,
The doctor did it.
Yeah, the doctor did it because he's going to get a beautiful wife. He's going to get Barbara Steele and a castle and all kinds of money and everything. I guess, is he though? Because she's dead. How is this supposed to work? All right, so Vincent Price is declared
Because it would go
insane.
to the sister, right? So.
It would go with the sister. I guess were they going to kill her too? But at some point, is the dead wife going to show up and say, "Psych, I was kidding. I inherit everything"? It's like, no, you don't. You're dead. You got
Who knows that she's dead?
explaining to do, Lucy. So yeah, I don't know what the ultimate plan was.
I don't know. Maybe he was in the will.
Right?
Who knows? Who
Ooh.
knows? Of course, Barbara Steele.
Barbara.
Oh,
What
my
an
gosh.
ending. What that last
that last shot is so scary.
Mhm.
Just the implication alone is what's frightening,
Yeah.
right?
No one will ever come in this room again.
Yep. And I love how we didn't really see him put her in there,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Camera
but
just pans over to her.
right, and then we just see, we really just see him standing. We know that he put her in there, but we didn't see how, him putting her.
Now,
Mhm.
wasn't that like an Iron Maiden?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you'd think she was like not in good shape at this point, but she's
Probably
alive.
not. Probably
Maybe the spikes were just close enough that he can't move, but
But she was gagged, so how
yeah,
he did that, I don't know.
don't know.
I like that shot at the top. 'Cause he,
Her standing over him.
yeah.
Yeah. It looks almost like a pre-Raphaelite painting or something. It's got a lovely composition to it. And the
Mhm.
colors, the purple. Purple's a sign of villainy. But
Is it?
oh yeah,
Purple side villain? Oh,
purples
okay.
are villains. Yeah, sure.
Not in Mace Windu.
No, that's true.
It is for the Green Goblin.
Ah, that is true.
Yeah.
All right, here's a couple of the films.
So,
I wish
if
Crystal was here for
Crystal,
this.
if you're here, yeah, here's some stuff there. So Castle of Blood, which is pretty cool. The one in the middle is Black Sunday, under its Italian name. The Horrible Dr. Hitchcock and the sequel, The Ghost, which are pretty cool. And Long Hair of Death, Nightmare Castle. I always get Nightmare Castle and Castle of Blood confused, but they're both pretty good. Okay, Curse of the Crimson Altar. She has an absolutely gorgeous looking role as this demon witch kind of thing with greenish blue skin and horns.
Yeah.
But even though the movie's got like a hell of a great cast, it ain't good. It's not a good movie.
Long Hair of Death is really good. That's a good movie with her, and we've covered that on Classic Era.
And she was and then she was also in some more modern ones like Cronenberg Shivers.
Yeah,
and she has a small role in Piranha, Joe Dante's Piranha, and she was in the Dark Shadows remake.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't she in
the Fellini movie? I think she was in 8.5.
Wasn't she in Silent Screen that we did?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she was. But she was just a very unique personality, unique look that didn't really find, she never became the superstar, mainstream superstar that, I think maybe she should have, but just too unusual look. But I'm glad we got her.
Yeah.
She had a face made for horror, and not in a negative way. She was not Rondo Hatton. She was beautiful, but she was beautiful in a way that could also be terrifying. And that's kind of hard to find.
Yeah, she definitely had a great screen presence. I mean,
yeah. Oh, the camera loves
the camera. Yeah, exactly. I was getting ready to say that myself. We do need to finish this cycle and a couple others. We do need to get them under our wings here. And then here's Luan. Like you said, she is better in other roles.
Yeah. Night Tide, Dementia 13, The Killing Kind. She's not a bad actress. I remember her in Dementia 13, but I don't know. It just didn't come across here. It did not work out. And I got to feel that was a deliberate choice on Corman's part. I mean, it's obvious to us she's really a passive presence here, and she could
much like her brother, much like
yeah.
And and they were also supposed to be kind of in trauma from their father, what he did and stuff. So it makes sense that they're both.
See, that's another thing they could have. That would have been kind of creepy, but that's another thing they could have explored. What was her what was her experience like as a child?
Yeah, that would have been good.
Couldn't have been, after the killing of the mother, what's it like being raised by a monster? And we know it messed up Vincent.
In a big way. Yeah. Well, I guess that's why she doesn't like to live in the castle. Because she only came back to support him after his death. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have Antoni Carbone, no H, even though I put it out there on the other one.
Yeah, you may kiss my hand. He was
in Bucket of Blood.
He was in Corman stuff. He did Corman things. That's the thing, Corman. You show up on time. You take your measly paycheck and you don't complain. Corman's like, I got a job for you next week. We're going to shoot another 3 movies.
And he's happy to do so.
Yeah. He's not
in one weekend.
He's not super memorable, but he says his lines. But I agree. He looks a little too much like the brother. I mean, I can't tell one person apart from another, but yeah, it does help me out a little here. Give him glasses or a facial scar or
a different
something,
hairline or something.
Yeah.
All right, and of course we have the pendulum itself, and great set design, even though it's obviously painted, but it just feels so good. It does feel. I mean, Crystal's right. It does feel like a stage.
A stage, yes.
But it doesn't. It's not in it doesn't have a negative effect on the
No,
film.
no.
I
Well,
think
No,
actually- I think
the
it's positive
nice thing
effect.
about stages is that it lets you do lighting. You know, because the stages are built for lighting. They're built so that you can put them strategically. And this is something I notice more and more is a deficiency in a lot of the indie films that Chad and I love to work on and love to watch and everything. Lighting, good lighting can really make a difference. And if you're shooting outdoors or you're borrowing some set or shooting in someone's house, there's only so much you can do. You've only got so many outlets. You've only got so many places to hide the lights and everything. And you just look at the composition, the use of shadows and light here. Now, does the lighting make any sense? No, absolutely. The only lighting this scene has is a couple of torches. Well, if you lit a room with a couple of torches, it would not look like this. But that's okay because I want to be able to see what's going on. So I don't care. Listen, filmmakers, if you're shooting a scene that's out in the woods and the only light is moonlight, put it out of your head that I got to shoot this as though it were shot by moonlight. Put the lights any dang place you care as long as I can see what's going on. Don't make every shot look like the ending of Dracula versus Frankenstein. Just light the scene and we will accept that the moonlight is bouncing off some mirrors somewhere and making everything visible. Okay. Thank you.
Just illuminating everything. Because it makes sense too because your eyes will adjust, right? You can't see in pitch black, but if there's light, you will adjust. You will see it reflecting.
But this is lovely composition. I mean, look, your eye is drawn to the pendulum, to the polished part of the pendulum. Vincent Price's face is like a moon. Most of it's in shadow and only a little bit of it is in light, which again emphasizes the duality of the character, that this is a good person gone mad. It's great. It is just, you go from the pendulum to him to the victim. It's a lovely shot. If this were a comic book panel, I would say bravo to the artist.
Yeah, I mean, even the wood that's on the wall there, brings your eye into the character as well. So.
And I mean, Chad knows this. The really great comic book artists are not necessarily the ones who are terrific illustrators. That is something that, oh man, I had to put that on my wall. But they can take a comic book page and through the panels and through the position of characters on the panel, force you unconsciously for your eyes to go in the correct order to tell the story.
And that's pretty much how, when I started directing things, how I did it. I fell back on my comic book roots, because you're basically directing a story the way through your eyes. So you want to make it look as interesting as possible. And this would be a perfect example of that. Look how menacing Vincent Price looks to the guy on the slab there without even, you don't hear what they're saying, but he just looks like, I'm going to kill you now.
Yeah, and he's practically a silhouette. So.
Yeah. So it's just an amazing piece of work there, that picture.
Yeah, I mean, the shot does follow light, the nature of light in some ways, where the light wouldn't be hit, it's still dark, right? Because, between the two lights back in the back, there's still a dark spot. There's on the right side that we're looking, it's still dark.
You still have light coming through those windows, which is what's illuminating those guys, and the torches on the wall. So the lighting's perfectly correct, and
just takes liberties.
Yeah, right.
Takes some liberties.
But that's their light. That's their supposed light source. So it's an amazing. I'm sure it looks like there's a stamp for MGM at the bottom. So it's some kind of publicity.
No, there's a
publicity still. It's beautiful though. It's just
I love it when somebody lights a candle or a torch or something, and just the whole
thing
room.
The whole room lights up.
But it works, right? And I love it when they put like reflecting eye across the eye or something. But there's lots of really fun techniques that you do to bring out certain elements of a shot.
And that works because we as an audience, we know it's nighttime. We get it. And we don't worry too much about, oh, the lighting's bad here. It's, you
Mhm.
know, this is shouldn't be lit this, but the audience has the idea that it's light, and you just light your movie the way, like Bill said, light your movie the way you need it. As long as the audience knows that you're doing it nighttime, they'll
Yeah.
buy it.
Yeah, and if you're doing it right and you're doing the story right and you've drawn the
Yeah,
audience,
they're
in,
more interested.
they're not even going to notice it, right?
Mhm.
They're seeing what they're supposed to be seeing, and it's not
Yeah.
it's not until you're a critic or you're bored. If you're bored, you're going to notice everything. If
Yeah.
the film isn't catching you, you're going to see every little spot. But if you're into
Exactly.
the movie, you're not. You're just the film is going to live and breathe exactly how they planned it, and it's going to work. And this is a great example of that. Yeah, and of course, set design itself. I love this picture.
It's a great shot.
I like that this one doesn't have quite the blue tint that the movie itself did,
Mhm.
but it does have the the essence of the tint. And this is
Those
so gorgeous.
paintings were amazing, man. I love
Mhm.
those. And the only reason I'm looking at paintings is because we're doing night gallery.
That's true.
So, I'm looking at stuff like that.
It's also a little bit of foreshadowing, although, he's like, oh, I loved her in the afternoon. I would paint her. And then you look, she looks evil sitting there, and he's actually painting her looking kind of cruel, but love is blind. It's like, dude, how can
Mhm.
you be missing this? You're painting her, and she looks like someone who would try to kill you. But, oh, well.
Well, the way he's painting her, it does. So I wonder if subconsciously he's
Mhm.
painting her inner self, her essence there.
Yeah. Oh.
Without realizing it.
Yeah, but look at the windows and the blue light behind her,
With the
Mhm.
stained
and
glass.
look at the great shadow at the base of her dress going over to the the table. It's just
Mhm.
oh my god, I love this shot. The shot is gorgeous.
And it's a quickie shot too.
Yeah.
It seems so what we would normally think of as uncorman like, to put
Yeah.
that much time and effort to set this up for what is really just a throwaway shot, just a flashback. Now, watching it a second or third time, you see this, knowing what we know. Okay, this shot is really important.
Mhm.
But so
that's true.
I think Corman was looking at movies like this, playing the long game. That, like I said, this is the one they're going to remember me by,
Yeah.
or one of the ones.
Well, he did love his. You can see the passion in all the
Right.
Corman films. I mean, all the Poe films. I mean, it's really this series is his best work.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean,
Right.
again, I hate to. I'm not making fun of it because I love the movie, but if he'd done a Bride of Attack of the Crab Monsters, it would have been another 5-day film. He wouldn't have put any more into it. He would have reused the same crab monster costume, which looks nothing like a crab, and whatever. These were the ones he cared about.
Yep. And we profited from it.
Mhm. We
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
All the benefit of the audience. So good stuff. Anything else we want to say about Pit and the Pendulum?
It's not my favorite of the Poe films that we've covered so far. I think Mask and you can't beat Mask. But it's not a bad watch. I mean, again, if you're a fan of Vincent Price, he does a great job here. With this character, and I'll definitely watch it again, even though it's rotten acting.
Nah, you just gotta watch
everybody
it for
else.
Price. You got to watch it for Price.
Yeah.
No, I think
I mean-
people should check this out. I don't know if younger audiences are going to have the attention
No.
span for it, but they really should, because the payoff at the end, it really does. We have this saying that we do for like the gruesome magazine we do the newest. It sticks the landing. It does.
Yeah.
It ends in a great way. From the time that Vincent Price is off on his own trying to find her until they shut the door. We see and we see her in the sarcophagus or whatever that thing is. That's a great bit.
Yeah.
Well, when you're talking about young people and stuff, I've come to the conclusion that I've probably been going about this the wrong way. when I was a kid, it made perfect sense. You start out with films like this and the Universal horror films. You appreciate them, you like them. They were a little scary, but not too much. And then you graduate to Hammer, and then you discover the Euro stuff, and then one day Exorcist, and off you go. If you're like Crystal, okay. See, but that Crystal's more like modern kids. Modern kids are seeing the rough stuff early.
Mhm.
And then when you try to show them this, they don't appreciate it because they've already gone beyond that. Now these films are something that someone like Crystal will appreciate more when they get older and they have the sophistication to appreciate different styles and things.
Mhm.
It's a kind of a complete inverse of the way things are. Society's moved on, and so things have changed. So yeah, I don't know that I would be showing this to young people because I think they'd get bored.
Yeah.
That style of filmmaking and everything, the idea of the slow burn, you have to get older to appreciate that. When you've gotten tired of everything just being a by the numbers, Netflix, bang, A, B, C, D, bang, bang, bang. And then if you love film, you start appreciating films that work in a different way.
Mhm.
And so these things can come back, and you can appreciate them then. But
Yeah, it was a
young kids, they
different.
would not like it.
It was a different time. It was a different
Yeah,
time.
of
And
course.
the monster kid in us, love all this stuff because the visuals, have they live after the film.
Yeah.
Through the monster magazines and through our love of horror and stuff like that, and they don't go away. And we still remember fondly and strongly to the.
And it's all we had at the
We
time.
made even more
We
so,
didn't-
right? Boris
Yeah,
Karloff, Bela Lugosi, Lon Chaney, Vincent Price, all the
Yeah.
rest of them, right?
We didn't have all this other stuff now, the digital effects
Right.
and stuff like. We didn't have all that when we were kids, so we didn't have streaming, we didn't have DVDs, VHS type things till we were older. So these films would come through, you'd watch them regardless of whether you thought you might like them or not, or what. You'd watch them because, hey, it's horror. I might not ever see it for another 10 years, that kind of thing, because they only came around so often. You
Right.
didn't
That's
have
true.
instant access to them.
We would definitely highlight our
Highlight
our
those
TV
TV guides.
magazines.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! But my daughter surprises me because she really loves the older stuff. I mean, Jaws
Good
is
for
one of
her.
her favorites. Jaws is one of her favorites, but Exorcist isn't. But she loves The House on Haunted Hill. She loves The Haunting. She loves The
Mhm.
Birds. The Birds is one of her favorites. So she really loves, and she loves how she really got into the there's a word for the European American blend that most actors did in the 30s and 40s and 50s. I forget what it's called, but all the Cary Grant, all those people.
Yeah.
used-
Midwest, what was it? The Mid-Atlantic accent or something?
Yes, I think that's exactly what it is. And
Judy.
Yeah, and she loves that.
Yeah.
If the film has that, she is drawn to it. I'm really
That's
impressed by it.
cool.
Yeah.
That's
Now
very
Jacob,
cool.
Jacob on the other hand, the shittier the movie is, the more he likes it.
Yeah.
He loves to watch a really bad film, and I don't know why, but if I'm watching a movie that's from the 60s, 70s, or 80s that's really bad, he'll sit and watch it with me.
Wow.
It's, everyone has I've run into a few students who will be describing, when they find out what a movie nut I am, they'll be describing some movie they really liked, and I realize, oh, you like film noir. They didn't even know that was a thing. It's like, look, if you like this movie, here's a list of some others you might want to go check out. And they'll come back to me. It's like, yeah, that's great. I'm like, wow, that you're an unusual child, because that's a style that only old people have a real fondness for. But there's a lot of good stuff out there. There's so much out there. It's a matter of finding it and being able to cut through. It's almost an embarrassment of choices. There's so many choices. You tend to immediately go for the safe, the tried and true, the ones you've seen 100 times. Back in the day, we got 3 channels. They showed a lot of movies, but there are only 3 channels, so there are only, a limited number of choices, and so you got to sample things. You find out, I'm not really into musical comedies, but I do like film noir. I do like, whatever.
Mhm. Yeah. And there was times when like westerns were the thing, and then there's times when, it was all about the dramas and the romance or the musicals, right? So, and you experienced that, you lived through it, and that was. We don't really get that today so much. When's the last time we've really had a hard cycle on, the rom-coms? I mean, we did, but like in the 2000s, or, right around there. But
even comedies, like raunchy comedies, we don't see anymore.
Right, they're hard to make. But
Netflix has taken over.
The
thing, so why go pay to go see a rom-com when Netflix has like 3 of them a week coming out?
Yeah, and that's why the theaters are suffering from that, right? It's because
they sure are.
They have to have these, these films that you really get the best experience in the theater. That's all these bloated superhero and Star Wars films. And now I love them, but it's hard to like put down $30 to go see, an hour and a half rom-com.
Yeah.
And we don't have the names like we used to. I mean, there are a few, right?
There aren't too many names that guaranteed to put a butt in a seat.
Right.
Yeah, not anymore.
I mean, even the ones that don't always, right? Like Tom Cruise.
It's not enough to say it's a Tom Cruise. Right? Yeah, it's not enough to say it's a Tom Cruise or a Brad Pitt film. It has to have some selling point. It's got to have a killer coming attractions and a good poster and everything. It's not enough to say, we got good stars in this. It's like I can go home and watch an entire month 24/7 of films with great stars in them. There's a lot of films and they're all available. That's the thing, they're all available now.
It's a double-sided sword because when we grew up, we had to wait for a movie to come on TV before we could see it.
Right.
And now they're readily available at the push of a button. And there's just so much that used to just be sitting in a vault somewhere that nobody would ever see. Mm-hmm. And the streaming services and this and that just, I think we're in a lucky time because we've seen it when we didn't have it. And now we've seen it when we have it. Because there's kids growing up, that's all they've ever had. Is streaming and this and that. So it's got a good side and a bad side and I think the bad side is the movie going experience is suffering and nobody goes to the movies anymore. And that doesn't, so you can put Tom Cruise or Brad Pitt in a movie and people will still go, I'll wait for it to stream.
Sure.
And they'll stay home because, and that's the sad part about it. The good part and a bad part.
We've lost that communal thing.
Yeah, even late, most recently, the ones that 5 years ago would draw, $1 billion worth of audience, can't do that anymore. It's hard. It's difficult. You almost have to be a kids film to do it.
Yeah.
Not that I'm slighting kids films, but superheroes are hurting. Star Wars is hurting. Big sci-fi is hurting.
People don't have the money to plop down $100 for a family of 3 or 4 to go to a movie. So I mean, I used to be in the movies every weekend, 2 or 3 times per weekend. Growing up, and it's just hard for families now, especially with families that have their whole home theater set up, and
it's so much easier just to pop some popcorn and sit around the TV.
The filmmakers or the studios have themselves to blame too, because I think they've forgotten how important story is. I keep seeing films come out that underperform, and even the people who like them will say, the story was a little weak, and the bride couldn't decide what story it wanted to tell, and they're liking the film. It's like, well, if the story's not good, it's not going to succeed. It's all about the story. Everything else is negotiable, but tell a good story. And I think there's
only a few exceptions to that. Avatar, I'm looking at you.
Yeah.
I mean, how many times have we run across movies? I mean, especially judging movies that are going to be in film fests and stuff like that, that are absolute genius films. but can't get made anywhere but an independent.
You can't get in the theater. Can't even get in the theater.
Yeah,
maybe,
they can't.
Maybe for a couple days over the weekend or something.
Yeah.
How many times do we hear about big budget, huge budget Hollywood films having to go for reshoots and re-edits and re-this and re-that? This is what happens when you don't have everything nailed, the story and the dialogue, everything nailed down before you start shooting. These things we got to shoot here. We're not done with the script yet, but we're committed to shoot on this date. Like, oh, well, someone's doing this backwards. I don't know how you think you can make movies without a finished script or a script you're not. And they do have success stories. This film was fixed in the edit. There's so many stories when you look at the behind the scenes, you're like, ooh, this was dire. And they fixed it in the edit and they reshot a few things for this edit fix and it all came together. And that's great. But boy, that's taking a risk. Oh, well.
Yep. Well, this movie we reviewed tonight did well. I mean, drew people
Six.
in.
That's pretty impressive, really.
Yeah. All right. Well, we want to hear what you think about all this. So you can reach out to us at feedback@gruesomemagazine.com. If you want to send us an email, we'd love to see it. Or you can
you tell us what's wrong with the world and how it should be fixed.
That too.
You too can yell at clouds.
And YouTube, comment down below, or you can go to Instagram, Facebook, or our website, and we'd love to hear what you have to say. Speaking of that, we have feedback.
Oh, feedback.
And we have 3. So we'll each get to do one. Well, we have 3 films. We have more than 3. All right. All right. Starting off, we have, what was it? On episode 205, Corridors of Blood, Real XX2D. And Chad, I'm going to let you do this one.
Okay. Rhea XX2D says, double bill with werewolf in a girl's dormitory? What an honor. A writer in a book of horror reviews said he saw the flesh and the fiends at the bottom of the bill at a drive-in below the likes of horrors of Spider Island.
Oh, my.
Wow.
Oh, my.
Interesting combo.
Yeah. Bill, on episode 223, The Mask of the Red Death, Gregory Crosby.
Isn't he the one that Chad always does, the exaggerated Frasier English voice?
Yes.
Oh, well, I'll do my best.
All right, go for it.
Scene.
It's going to be great.
1952. The office of William Gaines, publisher of EC Comics. Suddenly the wall shimmers, and through a time portal out steps Edgar Allan Poe. I've come to tell tales in the gaudy primary colors of the graphic medium, he declares, and the result is Roger Corman's 1964 film, The Mask of the Red Death. Don't ask me to explain how any of this happens. The proof is there before your very eyes.
Well done.
I'm no Chad, but
well done.
That worked. That worked for me.
That worked well. All right. Andy L has something to say, and ironically, he's probably good. I'm doing this one. Andy L says, "Hi, Doc." Hi, Andy. I'm a big fan of Rathbone. I think he corrects me on how to say it here. Or he corrects me on this first name. Yeah, we'll get to that. I used to watch Sherlock Holmes theater regularly as a kid, and I have the DVD box set of his Holmes movies. I also really enjoyed him in Robin Hood. Personally, I've always considered him the best Holmes, and I like the ditzy Dr. Watson and their interplay. I really felt the obligation to correct you on the pronunciation of his name. Basil is a spice, not how you say his name. Basil is his first name is pronounced Basil. Rhymes with dazzle. Oh, it's Basil. Rhymes with dazzle. I'm still doing it wrong. Rhymes with dazzle or razzle rather than basil. Thank you, Andy. And sometime eventually I'll get it right.
Yeah,
it's important you get it right too, because he really was good with a sword, and you don't know what's going to tick him off. You called me Basil, and then he smacks you across the face. Yep. Swords at dawn. Like, oh, I'm screwed.
Basil. I think I'm safe. Chad Hunt, will you do same movie?
Jose Luis Herrera Lepron.
There you go, sir. Thank you.
Jose says, my favorite of the Corman-Poe cycle of films Striking in every way, and the production taking place in England made the budget go farther, so to speak. The psychological use of color is striking, as is the widescreen photography. Even in the distortion from the anamorphic lenses is very prominent throughout the film. Jose is a big camera guy, so he knows all this stuff.
Photographer, you mean?
Yeah, he knows all this stuff about movie photography and stuff like that. He's a very well versed in that. Price is at his best here. Prospero is a depraved monster, a thrill to watch. Hazel Court's death is both poetic and shocking. I remember seeing it as an adolescent and being very surprised. Nice.
All right. Jose returns for episode 224, Tomb of Lygia. Bill Mulligan.
Jose says, this was the hardest of Corman's Poe cycle for me to find. I had to wait for the Vincent Price Blu-ray collection to finally see it. It's my least favorite of the adaptations. Things were beginning to feel a little stale by this point. Still, there is interesting material here, including yet another character with eye issues. It sure seems to run through Corman's work.
Well, since it's the last one, we'll accept it as the beginning to fade.
Yeah.
Makes sense. It sounds like they recognized it too. So.
Yeah.
All right. Eleanor C. has the following to say about Tomb of Lygia. This was the last movie from the Corman-Poe cycle I watched, and probably my least favorite, but still very good. I just like the others more by comparison. I love that you continue with these movies. I hope you will someday also get to my favorite, the one that's not actually Poe, The Haunted Palace.
You know what? I like Eleanor's comments. I like them a lot because she comes in, she says what she has to say, she makes a good point every time, and she's out of there. Unlike some Jerry Chandlers I know. I won't mention any names, but
multiple Jerry Chandlers.
But thanks, Eleanor. That was
Thank you,
good.
Yeah, we want to thank all of you who've participated in the feedback. Thank you for sending it in. We love each and every one of you. Let me open them back up so I can say their names. I could put the L in there. Rhea XX2D, Gregory Crosby, Andy L. Say the name for Jose again. Jose, you see it great, Chad.
Jose Luis Herrera Lepron.
Yes.
I'm trying to roll my R's in the proper way.
And Eleanor C. Thank you all very, very much.
And thanks for stopping by, Crystal, even though we couldn't keep you.
Oh, I know. Yes. But as we wrap up our next, we do this every 2 weeks. And next up for Decades of Horror, the Classic Era, is a wonderful, air quotes, pick from Chad. The Magnetic Monster from 1953. Yeah. Tell us why you picked this.
I picked it because I liked it as a kid.
Okay.
I watched it a few times as a kid, and I just thought it was the bee's knees.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Well, that's a great reason to pick it because of, monster kidding. Yeah, absolutely. All right.
I remember watching it as a kid too, and I remember thinking, boy, it's a fun movie, but half of it looks so kind of ordinary, but then man, when the special effects pick up, they really pick up. It's like it's a whole different movie, and then later
you find out why.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like it's going to be a great. I haven't seen it.
It's a hoot.
Really? Okay. Yeah, I think you'll like it.
If I have, I don't remember.
So You'll like it. You'll like it.
All right. Well, Chad, Bill, and Crystal, wherever you may be, thank you for joining me.
Thank you, Doc.
You're welcome. Thanks for having us.
All right. And with that, let's say goodnight.
It's always a stone cold groove, Doc. If you get my drift.
I think I do.
If you smell what he's cooking.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.